The inspirational legacy of Dr. English lives on more than 2 years after she suddenly died of cardiac arrest. Hundreds of friends, family, and former patients jogged 3 miles to honor the late doctor, who's become a local legend.
She is the most compassionate physician I have ever heard of.
Heather Seifer of Duluth says she'll never forget what English did for her family.
She came in at 9 o'clock at night the day before she passed away and helped deliver our premature twins.
Seifer considers English a guardian angel who watches over her daughters.
She was a lifeline. She took every single call that we ever had to make so personally and understood as a mother or as a person, as a family.
Mary Anderson Petrosky of Superior considers jogging a thank you to English because she never got to say goodbye to her best friend.
I still haven't replaced her with another doctor because I miss her so very much.
English's patients say she has an extraordinary compassion for people that's touched thousands of people's lives. And that compassion still rings true today for the hundreds of people that turn out to walk in her honor.
It's to promote physical fitness, and she really wanted people to be active.
For Emily Crook, the 3-mile run is a way to continue her mother's inspiration.
I just think she really cared for people. It really shows how important community is and how my mom served the community, and it shows that what you give into the community will also come back to you.
Welcome to the finish line.
In Duluth with photojournalist Harry Baker, I'm Joe Cadotte, Fox 21 News. Not only does this teach the Cub Scouts the importance of helping out other people, but the help that they provide will be feeding families throughout Duluth. Conaway built 7 World War II trainer planes right here, where he spent nearly 60 years living out his passion. It takes 96 billion cubic feet of natural gas and 2,000 tons of coal to heat all the campus buildings. Many people rode this train to Duluth until the early 1960s. One woman was riding this train in the early 20th century. Every year, more than 1,000 people come to the Leskyainen Festival to enjoy the food, music, and tradition, but more than all, to slide down the hill. Once the Hallfrisch's house is burnt down, the ashes that will remain will symbolize 12 years of hardship for them. But the community effort to build them a new house will be a new chapter in their life. With more need this summer than last summer, thousands of people are coming in every month seeking services. But Wallen says the kindness and compassion of the community is meeting that need. Chamberlain says the experiences she gathered from the Vietnam War era made her realize how hard life was for veterans and made her want to give back to the military.
Like other people that don't have a felony or have never been in trouble their whole life, they just take it for granted. They don't realize how hard it is for us.
At 18 years old, Joe Clare of Moose Lake got a felony meth drug charge.
Hello.
6 years and 60 job applications later, Joe couldn't find a job. Now he's back behind bars for another drug charge.
I haven't been able to get a job because of my felonies.
Claire says being in jail pales in comparison to the social restraints of being a felon.
I obviously committed a crime and, did what I did, so I belong in here. But they're just punishing us 2, 3, 4 times for the rest of our life, really. Say I now go from now to 60 and never get in trouble again. My felonies are always going to be there.
Claire is just one of hundreds of offenders being released into northeastern Minnesota every year. And statistics show that half will reoffend within 3 years of being released. For the past 40 years, UWS psychology professor Hal Bertelsen has been studying aggression. Bertelsen says criminal history discrimination happens because people link a person's bad choice to their personality. He says most offenders are good people who were transformed into criminals through bad situations.
The environment that people are in a prison or in a jail reinforces whatever bad behaviors they've already acquired.
Punishing criminals, Bertelsen says, and making it difficult for them to integrate back into society causes more aggression.
The solution, in the large sense, is to reduce that kind of structural violence, to provide jobs for everyone, to have us live in an environment where we are encouraged to cooperate more than we are now.
What are we learning here?
One organization helping find jobs is Duluth's Community Offender Reentry Program. Last year alone, they helped 60 to 80 felons. Core case manager Matt Leibfried encourages employers to make exceptions for offenders who've turned their lives around.
take responsibility for what they've done in the past and then tell the employer how things have changed for them now and what they've done to improve themselves since they committed a crime.
But sometimes that path back to reality isn't that easy.
Person's got to make a living somehow, you know, and obviously doing it the illegal way ain't the way to do it. But if you can't get a job, what's society pushing you to do?
In Saginaw, Minnesota, with photojournalist Adam Jaganich, I'm Joe Cadott, Fox 21 News.
Last winter, we're out here washing buses and freezing the sides of the bus as fast as you can wash them.
Every 10 days, Bad River Transit mechanic Lawrence Worley lies between the cold metal frame of a bus and the frozen ground to change oil.
That's the toughest part, is just putting up with everything cold and trying to break bolts loose when they're froze. You don't dare drop a bolt when this parking lot's full of snow. You'll never find it. Definitely challenging, yeah. You can only stay out here so long before your hands are frozen, your feet are froze.
Bad River Transit mechanics have worked without a garage since the operation started 15 years ago. A tradition transit manager Lloyd Hartwell is putting a stop to.
I'm hoping this time next year we'll have a building with 3-4 bays in so we can drive the buses in at night.
A garage Lawrence Worley deserves.
The guys that I have working for me are so good that we have made a round before the plows were even out. That's just pretty amazing.
Hartwell says the mechanics here are the backbone of the Bad River Transit system. The system gives 50,000 people rides a year.
If your bus isn't working, we can't move the people. And if it's not working properly, it's putting our passengers in jeopardy.
Hartwell says his mechanic is important to the community, and he'll do everything he can to get funding for a garage.
Make it as easy as you can on the mechanic. Have him the proper tools, make it comfortable conditions for him to work on, so he can do the better job.
With photojournalist Mitchell Davis, I'm Joe Cadott, Fox 21 News.